up on Fulton Today, a critical week at the state capitol. We'll tell you how Fulton County is faring this legislative session. And a group of young people show up hoping to land a job at Turner Field this summer. We'll show you how a county and national program helped. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everyone. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. All eyes are on the state capitol as Fulton County officials watch to see what key legislation will move forward this General Assembly session. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has been covering the capitol this session, and she joins us now with this story. Priscilla?
A number of bills on the Board of Commissioners legislative priority list survived crossover day. Now crossover day is the final day for a bill to pass out of the chamber in which it was introduced and move forward for consideration in the opposite chamber. As is the case during most General Assembly sessions, there were some priorities that did not advance this year. From healthcare and transportation to possible cityhood, a number of bills affecting Fulton County were on Commissioners' legislative priority list. And some of the bills that could continue to see movement at the Capitol include House Bill 885. The bill places the Fulton Board of Health and Wellness under the authority of the Georgia Department of Health, although Fulton will still have some local control.
The chair of the Fulton Commission will serve as a member of the board and also have the power to appoint 3 more members of that 7-member board. So a majority of the Board of Health under the Georgia DPH will be appointed by Fulton.
Also still on the table is a bill that tries to prevent prescription drug abuse. Under House Bill 900, the bill would allow a unified database where all physicians could see what medications their patients have been prescribed.
That way they can gauge the potential for misuse and abuse to try to, correct this national problem right now.
And as far as the South Fulton Cityhood bill,
and legislation creating the city of South Fulton has failed to cross over and will not become law this year, meaning the city will not be created, so Fulton County is exploring its options what to do with that in unincorporated territory.
And for a bill designed to increase public transit, Senate Bill 330 will not move forward.
Unfortunately, Senate Bill 330 MARTA expansion has failed to pass the Senate for this year, so for now it looks like MARTA expansion is not in the works. However, we will expect to see that issue back and addressed next session.
All in all, the county's legislative priority team says this has been a good session so far. They are hopeful that the priorities that survive crossover day will continue to move forward and pass into law. But for the issues that weren't addressed this year, hopefully they will be considered next year. Reporting from the state capitol, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, disability advocates make their voices heard during the Disability Day at the Capitol. During the annual observance, people living with disabilities and people fighting on behalf of those with disabilities rally at the Capitol to promote access and opportunity.
The primary focus today is about the vote, meaning, this November is a presidential election, and obviously some other Senate races and House races throughout the country. So today's theme is really about vote disability. There's employment needs. People with disabilities are extremely underemployed. There's a lack of accessible and affordable housing. Transportation in rural areas is lacking. So it's some of the same issues that people with poverty have all around the state. We need more transportation, we need more affordable housing, we need more employment opportunities. So when you think of the broader theme of vote disability, these are some of the issues that we'll be pushing forward between now and the primaries and the election in November.
And this really is an opportunity for people with disabilities to come out and let their voices be heard, to let legislators and elected officials know that they're an important constituent, and we wanted today for them to especially remember that this is an election year and it's time to vote, get registered to vote, and then get to the polls and actually vote. And by doing that, making sure that the policies change that make sure that people with disabilities are more included, independent, productive in their lives, and self-determined.
And inside the Capitol, the Georgia Council on Aging honored Fulton resident Dorothy C. Benson for her work as a longtime senior advocate. Ms. Benson was given the Distinguished Older Georgian Award.
I'm really excited that Georgia Council on Aging gave me an award called the Distinguished Georgian of the Year. And I don't know what I did to deserve that, but I know it's a great honor, and it's kind of a humbling experience, too.
Ms. Benson has come before the Board of Commissioners on a number of occasions to advocate for senior services. In fact, the county named a senior multipurpose facility in Sandy Springs in her honor. We will show you how the center celebrated this new honor for Ms. Benson in next week's show. Fulton County teens show up to the Fulton County Juvenile Court not because they are in trouble, but rather because they are hoping to get a job. The teens were taking part in a job preparation fair with hopes of landing a summer gig at Turner Field. Fulton's Aging and Youth team partnered with the court, the My Brother's Keeper Task Force, and Juma Ventures to train the kids with an interview dress rehearsal.
Good morning, my name is Scott Reed. I'll be interviewing you today.
How you doing? My name is Chuko.
Mr. Okiki, nice to meet you, sir, please.
The reason we're having this event today is an organization called Juma, a nonprofit organization, has partnered with Turner Field and Atlanta Braves to provide 120 job opportunities for individuals ages 16 to 21 that normally would not have an opportunity to work during the summer.
The teens were taught how to appropriately dress for the workplace and the importance of punctuality and body language. The teens who successfully participate in the training will be given an opportunity to interview for a job at Turner Field during the Braves' final season there. If you've got business to handle with Fulton's tax assessor's office, then listen up. We've got some new business hours to share with you. As we've reported here on FGTV, the tax assessor's main office moved from the Fulton County Government Center to the mall at Peachtree, located at 235 Peachtree Street in downtown Atlanta. Well, now that office and every other tax assessor location in the county will have the same business hours of 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
We very seldom get anyone that comes to the office for any business after 4:30. And since the tax commissioner, where we're located usually near, close at 4:30, it seemed like a common sense move to make in order to serve the taxpayers better.
The tax assessor's offices moved to the mall at Peachtree location back in September. There are still Homestead office branches located at the Government Center and the North and South Service Centers. The job of Fulton's top executive has gone to the dogs, literally. Dick Anderson continued his tour of county departments with a ride-along with the county's animal control team. The county manager and animal control administrator, Oliver Delk, shadowed the officers as they went about their day-to-day routine. He also spent time inside talking with the staff and getting friendly with some of the animals.
Well, I want you to know that as we do activities that we're required to do by law, there's also a heart and a focus on service behind that.
Fulton's animal services officers enforce the county's ordinances. You can contact their field team about dog bites, injured animals, animal cruelty, loose animals, and for welfare checks. And still to come, first responders make sure your child is safe in that car. We'll tell you how in our district by district coverage next. Fulton residents remember their history, and the county partners with first responders from other cities to keep kids safe. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Fulton Commissioners honoring a local Boy Scout for obtaining one of the Scouts' highest accolades. Chairman John Eves, along with Commissioners Marvin Arrington Jr. and Emma I. Darnell, sponsored a resolution proclaiming a special day for John Bradford Smith. The Scout from Troop 631 is a sophomore, dual magna student that has excelled both academically and in scouting. He attained the rank of Eagle Scout with 59 merit badges.
Thank you. I always want to specifically thank Miss McLaurin and Miss Corlette Banks and my family for helping me all the way through since I was 7, when I was like a Wolf Cub Scout, when I first realized that I wanted to be an Eagle Scout. And I mean, without my family and without Miss Corlette Banks and without Miss McLaurin, none of this would be possible, so thank you.
As a part of the Eagle Scout process, Brad completed an environmental project that included the design, construction, and installation of a bench, birdhouse, bee house, and bat house. In District 2, ALPHARETTA firefighters invite parents and guardians to have their child safety seats inspected. As a part of a partnership with the county's health promotions team, the first responders will check to make sure that the seats are installed properly. Residents must make an appointment for the checkup, but the service is free.
You can call us, schedule an appointment at any time, Monday through Friday, and we will check your car seat and make sure it's installed properly and that there's no recalls on that particular car seat that you have.
Studies conducted over the past 10 years show that some 33 to 35% of children riding in vehicles are not restrained in car safety seats. Because firefighters are first responders at traffic accidents, they see firsthand how car crashes have become the #1 cause of death for children. And finally, in District 6, seniors celebrate Black History Month with a special program. Members of the New Beginning Senior Center participated in the event where they reflected on their own stories.
Until we find out where we came from and all the sacrifices that people have made to get us to this point, it's very important that we teach that to our younger children so they understand that they have a proud heritage.
The program highlighted influential African Americans from past and present, including the first African American elected in the city of Fairburn.
I've been surprised so many times. I don't know how I deserve all the honor this city has done for me, but I give God the glory, and I enjoy it, and I thank Him.
The observance was first started in 1926 as just a Black History Week in honor of Frederick Douglass and President Lincoln's birthdays. And when we come back, we'll introduce you to a new group of residents who have turned their lives around. Stay with us. The latest graduates of the county's behavioral health treatment program take the next step to turn their lives around. FGTV's LYN VAUGHN has their story.
In a Fulton County courthouse assembly room usually reserved for jurors sat a group of residents who once found themselves on the wrong side of the law. They watched as their mug shots and old interviews were shown on a big screen.
I just felt like she was being too tough on me, but she really cared.
But on this day, they are proud because they are the newest graduates of the Behavioral Health Treatment Court program.
It helped me get back on track. In my addiction, I had, lost my way, and it just helped me get back on track.
This Fulton County Superior Court program offers a second chance to residents who might be facing felony charges.
The goal of the program is to reduce recidivism, is to make the community safer, and to take these individuals that really shouldn't be caught up in the justice system and give them treatment, which is what they need to get out of it.
Participants include those who might not have been caring for their mental illness or went undiagnosed. During the program, they are connected to resources, take part in bi-weekly group therapy sessions, and must abide by a curfew for 2 years.
It teaches individuals with a mental illness how to live in the community and be productive citizens in our community. In addition, it cuts down on crime in the community. It cuts down on taxpayers, the amount of money spent by them being in the jail.
The graduates say the process taught them how to better react to life's stressful situations.
Family relationships got better. I was able to really talk through conflicts with people instead of just reacting.
About 100 people take part in the behavioral court treatment program each year. Court officials say after the graduation ceremony, few return back to the court system and few return back to jail. Reporting for FGTV, I'm LYN VAUGHN.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Meanwhile, the county's environmental health team is gearing up to inspect hundreds of pools for this summer. The inspectors are responsible for checking the safety and health requirements for more than 1,800 public pools across the county.
And to make sure there's enough chlorine, make sure it's not too high. If it's too high, it could irritate the skin, the eyes. Also the pH level, make sure it's the right balance.
Jones also recommends parents take children to the bathroom every hour and change babies' diapers frequently. While the county checks for proper chlorine levels, health officials say chlorine does not kill all germs instantly. For more information on pool safety, you can go to the environmental health website right there on your screen. Fulton adds more nutritionists to their health team. The staff members are a part of the county's Women's, Infant, and Children's Program, also known as WIC. The nutritionists are trained to motivate participants about the dangers of obesity and the benefits of healthy eating habits.
We also want to make sure that our pregnant moms are receiving the maximum amount of nutrition that they can to help prevent birth defects, which is the reason why the WIC program was created.
The program offers counseling, breastfeeding support, and vouchers for staple foods like milk, eggs, and cheese. The program is offered at a number of county clinics. Now you can call 404-612-3942 to learn more about the eligibility requirements. And still to come on Fulton Today, we'll tell you what happens when you put together science, kids, and art. Stay with us. Children get a chance to learn about freedom quilts as they make quilts of their own. The elementary age children at the East Atlanta Branch Library colored pieces of paper and patched together a freedom quilt. The children were taught how African American slaves used quilts to communicate information about how to escape to freedom. The quilt will later be displayed at the library for everyone to see.
We've done geometric shapes using glow sticks. We built catapults to shoot marshmallows. We've built airplanes. We built birdhouses. Today we're going to be learning about patterns, and we're going to be building a freedom quilt for Black History Month.
This program is a part of the branch's STEAM Club, which offers weekly activities based on science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. Now you can go to afpls.org to learn more. And finally, boys and girls put their skills on the court as they compete in an annual popular tournament. The Parks and Recreation Department's basketball teams dribbled and took shots at Welcome All Park. The players were on teams based on their age, which ranged from 6 and under all the way up to 17 years old. The players were from all of the county parks, including Sandtown and Burdett.
It was a nail biter. We got up on them shooting them free throws at halftime. We got like a 6-point lead, but they came back on us. It was a nail biter at the end, and we handled our business, played some defense, and won the game.
The winners now advance to the Georgia Recreation and Parks Association State Basketball Tournament this weekend. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, watch us anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.